All right, ladies, gentlemen, welcome on Burger Podcast. Glad you're all here. It is Tuesday. So I don't know, quarantine day 9,000,006. Who fucking even knows, right? Now, here's the crazy thing. Follow me on this, please. I want you to read this. I want you to really check it out, and I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what it's really saying. You know what I'm saying? I want you to really think about what this is saying because it's insane. Let me see. Now, here's the crazy thing. Follow me on. I just had to make sure I was on. Yeah. I mean, follow me on this. This is insanity. The fact is, we have a move right now to like kind of normalize pedophilia, and that's not okay. I mean, it's not okay. It's reprehensible. It's insanity. And here's the problem, and this is what people aren't getting. Now, let's say I take a piss off the side of the road and a cop busts me, right? I have to now register as a sex offender and tell my neighbors. I got to go through this whole thing because I had to piss on the side of the road or wherever it was, right? Let's say I'm 18 and I have sex with a 16, 17-year-old guy, girl, whatever, you know? That's more than willing. We're all cool. Everything's cool, blah, blah, blah. Everything was cool. Parents even knew. And then whatever happens, big fight between the girl and the parents, and parents are mad. Fuck you. We're going to do this. And I'm going to someone. Oh, fine. We're calling the police. All of a sudden, I'm going to jail for statutory rape. But I also have to register as a sex offender and everything else. I guess what I'm trying to say is, these are not the same as pedophilia. It's not that it's okay. I'm saying, look, if some guy now the statutory rape thing, I'm not sure how that works. If that's them doing it, whatever it is. Okay, so if you're a parent and you're not okay with some 18-year-old being around your 16-year-old, and they have sex with your 16-year-old and whatever, and you fucking beat the living shit out of them, fine, super. Beat the fuck out of them. Fucking cut their leg off, whatever. Don't do that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, go crazy, do whatever, protect your kids. That's fine. Now, but that person isn't a pedophile. That 18, 19-year-old with the 15, 16, 17-year-old, they're not pedophiles. And that's the problem. They're pathetic. Now, again, we're not talking about somebody who's forcing themselves. We're not talking about somebody who's kidnapping someone or buying them drugs or meeting them on the internet and tricking them into coming out there. No. We're talking about like the guy or the girl failed 3 times high school. And so now she's 18, 19 in high school, finishing 12th grade. And she ends up banging some, 16-year-old, 17-year-old boy at school. She's not a pedophile. I mean, can we say that? She's not a pedophile. She's not the coolest person in the world by any means, but she's not a pedophile. And so that's what I'm trying to explain is it's not the same. See, an 18-year-old woman having sex with a 17-year-old boy isn't the same as pedophilia. A 28-year-old man and a 17-year-old boy, it's not the same. 28-year-old woman, 17-year-old boy, 28-year-old man, 17-year-old girl, all that stuff. In Vegas, the age of consent, I think, is 16. In Georgia, I think it's 14. So there's places in America where post-pubescent men and women, or I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Post-pubescent boys and girls are allowed to make the choice to have sex. I don't agree with that. I don't think, I think there's got to be a little leeway on the 18, 19-year-old, with the 16, 17-year-old. We have to give a little bit of leeway on that because it's come on. And when you get judgmental about that, you're kind of being full of shit because there's so many of us that have met when we were 18, 19 and met 15, 16-year-olds that were like, whoa. And it didn't mean we were pedophiles. I mean, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have been hitting on them or whatever, or dating them or whatever. I didn't. The one young girl I ever liked didn't think of me that way. And it was kind of embarrassing. And it taught me a valuable lesson about fuck that. I don't want to, that was humiliating. So, and I was 18. She was 16. 15, sorry, I'm going to be honest. And fucking gorgeous. Looked like Mariah Carey. It was a friend of mine's sister. We were chatting. We were joking. She'd go on rides to my motorcycle. And then she's like, oh, I don't feel. I go, okay, no worries, you know. But there was no force or anything. You know, there was nothing weird. And so the whole thing I'm trying to say is like, there's a huge difference, right? Now, if some 18, 19-year-olds hanging around my 15, 16-year-old daughter, I'm going to break their face, or my son, I'm going to break their face. That's for me to do. If I can't, then it's for me to tell the law, hey, I don't want them around my kid. And if they keep coming around, then fuck them. But it's not pedophilia. Pedophilia is specific. It's what the Democrats are trying to make legal. It's what they're trying to make the norm, that it's okay. NAMBLA is an actual organization. They are worse than the Klan. They are worse than anything else alive. They want to normalize grown men having sex with young baby boys, like, you know. And this is what I'm saying. Nowhere in the world, there are all kinds of different laws of post-pubescent, like in countries where post-pubescent, like Latin America, Middle East, even in Asia, even in this country, in Amish land and the South African villages and shit like that, they have it where post-pubescent or post menstrual or period, whatever it is, as a age thing. And I'm not cool with that. That's what I said. If someone would mess with my kid, my daughter at that age, I'll kill him. Yeah, Fig, that's funny. Yeah. But so the point I'm trying to make is, you know, so I wouldn't be okay with it, but I would handle it myself. Now, that's different than somebody touching my 5'10", 12 and under year old. It's not different that I'm gonna kill all of them, but it's different. That person is a pedophile. See, there are 15, 16-year-old boys and girls that look full grown and they're sexy. And if you say they're not sexy, you're a fucking liar. They're sexy. They're out there. Drew Barrymore was getting into clubs doing coke and fucking movie stars at a ridiculous age. That's pedophilia. Other stars were going out at 15, 16, 17, looking hot as fuck, looking full grown. Different. Because they're full grown and you're attracted to them, but you move on. You find them, move on because they're underage. Now, but there are places in this country where that's totally legal. There's places in the world where even younger is legal, but there's no places where they're like, yeah, no, totally, you can fuck babies, that's totally cool. Yeah, just go ahead and bang the babies, just go on. I'll tell you what, we just had a whole bunch of births. Just go into the maternity ward and have at it. Yeah. I mean, look, we look at it like a candy store. Yeah, come on in. No, there's nowhere in the world where it's okay to touch like babies. There's no way in this world where it's okay to touch prepubescent. And there might even be some weird villages and this and that where prepubescent 9, 10, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds are marrying people in weird ways and stuff. And those are freak job, nut job, wacko people. Like those are freaks that have never met society or they've escaped from society and they're fucking in the middle and in some weird off the globe country shithole. And that's where they do that crap. Their whole country does not condone that type of behavior and it's not legal. And there's nowhere in this world where it's legal to have sex with prepubescent children. And that's why we have to separate these laws. These pedos want to keep it all together. They want somebody peeing in a bush to be kind of lumped in with them. Because then how do you vote to make such strong laws when you're kind of afraid you might piss in a bush and get caught and get nailed, or have sex with like a 17-year-old who's almost 18? She had a fake ID, he had a fake ID, whatever it be, and you didn't know. And they totally, anybody in the world would look at them and just be like, they're 30. They're 30. But they said they were 22 and you were cool with them being way younger, but you didn't know they were fucking 17, almost 18. Now you're lumped in with a kitty toucher, a pedophile, somebody who moves a diaper over. You know what I'm saying? You're lumped in with that person. That's insanity. I was 16 dating a 26-year-old, a girl named Michelle, who's 26 years old and beautiful. Really pretty. I'm blessed. Not John Holmes blessed. I'm porno-sized blessed. I've got a great dick. And so at 16, I was sporting rod. You know what I'm saying? I was at 16. I was hitting a hard 8.5, close to 9. And so I was living with a 26-year-old who was paying for everything, but she was beautiful, and she was just in need of someone who really loved her. And I did really love her, and I thought she was amazing. And so in all that, yeah, I thought she was amazing. I was so into her, and I thought she was so sexy and everything else. And we would bang all the time, like 3-4 times a day. And so it was so cool. I didn't see it as a horrible experience. I thought it was a cool experience. Yeah, I was underage. She was truly a pedophile in the term, right? But she wasn't. And she shouldn't go to jail with pedophiles. That's what I'm saying. Mary Kay Letourneau, that was close. That was pretty close. But some of them, they weren't pedophiles. It was just like, you know, they were weird. They were sad. They were this and that, lonely. You know, there's certain things. If they weren't preying on her, if everybody was kind of into it, I don't mean we use grades or teachers like threaten the kids or some weirdo rapes the students. No, I mean where the kids or students are into it, the teacher's into it. Yeah, it's wrong. It's totally wrong. And it's child molestation. And it's that, but it's not pedophilia. And we need to separate pedophilia from everything else. We need to go prepubescent, birth to prepubescent. If you touch a child from birth to prepubescent, if you do anything sexual with a child from birth to prepubescent, the sentence is life off the bat. If you rape or if you enter, intercourse, penetrate, perform sex on in any way to a child under that age, the sentence is death. That's all. There shouldn't be, but we need to separate that by prepubescent, birth to prepubescent. Let's make it very specific because this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to connect to this other group that's kind of stupid and scummy and dirty and childish and immature and pathetic and all this shit, and should probably have the shit kicked out of them. They're trying to connect to them. So we all know we could be them at any minute. And so we don't want to vote for these laws to be life and this and that when we could be getting 20 years for an accident. That, again, not pedophilia, not rape, you know, just an accident. Like, not an accident, but, you know, she, you know, again, she looked 30. She said she was 21. Turned out she was 17. She had a license, showed it, everything, you know, like that. You're not a pedophile. You're an asshole. You should have known. You know, I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is the pedophiles want to keep it together. And it lessens their charges. It lessens their time in jail, lessens everything. We need strict laws. If you touch prepubescent children, you go to jail for life. If you rape, if you penetrate, if you perform sex on prepubescent children, or if you hurt and kill prepubescent children in the act of sexual misconduct, pedophilia, or any of that, if you traffic children, death penalty. For trafficking children should be the death penalty right off the bat. See, being a madam or a brothel or a pimp that doesn't beat the shit out of their clientele, whether you're a man or a woman who's a pimp or a madam, whatever it be, and you're not beating the shit, you're just like, you're the one managing everything and you take care of everything. If people want to leave, they can leave. If they want to stay, they can stay, but you're making money and cool. No worries, man. Now, but if you're running human trafficking, sex trafficking, see, that's the difference. You're a fucking scumbag piece of shit. You're not a manager. You're not like the Henry Winkler and what's his name on Night Shift. You're a scumbag. You're dirt. You're pieces of shit. And you need to go to jail for life. And you need to be put to death. And that's the fact. And so that's what I'm saying is we need to completely separate sex traffickers, abusers, you know, like things like that. We need to take these horrible people and separate them from the people who aren't perfect, who aren't fantastic. You know what I'm saying? See, you have a guy who steals 3 times and gets, or a girl who steals 3 times and gets life in prison for the 3 strikes law, right? But they just stole like $100 worth of shit. They never hurt anyone or this and that, but they were felonies, you know. So they're doing life with a guy who murdered 7 kids and then ate them. They're doing life with him. It's not right. That's what I'm trying to say is things have to be differentiated. We need to separate things definitively. And things like pedophilia, things like sex trafficking, things like child sales, things like slavery, things like rape, they need to be separated heavily from everything else. That's all I'm saying. And I saw something today and I want to comment on it. And it said, and it's funny because people don't get this. There's, a lot of Black people know that they can't travel to certain places and wear certain clothes and look a certain way and be in a certain group and not get fucked with. They know if they do this, they're going to get fucked with and they can get shot. And that's pathetic on this country and it's pathetic on the world that exists. Let me tell you another group that goes through the exact same thing and nobody gives a flying fuck. Women. Women go through the exact same thing. Do you realize that women are told all the time, oh, you shouldn't wear that. What was she wearing? And I got this off a post, but it's so true and I believe it wholeheartedly. Women are told like, oh, if you hear about like a woman was raped, oh, what was she wearing? Where was she? Ooh, why was she alone? Okay, a woman should be able to wear whatever she wants, go anywhere she wants, and be by herself without the threat of ever being raped. Women should not have to live their lives in preparation and fear of being raped. Rapists should live their lives in fear of the fact that they're going to be killed slowly in a torturous way. And in that sense, and then so maybe it's not worth it to do it, make the crimes not worth to do again. Quarter people, get crazy, get creative, but let's go after the criminals, the real criminals. Like I said, we got people in jail that are on drugs for just being on drugs. They've never done any violent crimes. They have no record. It's just drugs. You have people in there for selling pot still, smoking pot still. I mean, come on. Do things right. That's all I'm saying. In this world, we don't do things right. We don't do things the way we should. And you know what it is? What you guys don't understand, what people don't understand, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to check it right now, and I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to find, that they switched me back to this, but watch this. This is going to be weird. Now follow me on this. I'm going to edit the privacy. Yep. So now I put it on public. Even though I already put it on public, they put it back on private. Every time I do that, they cut my thing back. They put it back. They put it back. They keep this low key. What you guys don't understand is you get to see and you hear what's allowed. If every single person who watched this shared it, and then other people shared it because, hey, at least I'm speaking a truth. It's my truth. It might not be the truth. It's a truth. And that's more than what most people are doing. I like Ben Shapiro. I dig a lot what he says, and it's very logical, and I'm big on logic. So, and I'm telling you, seriously, if you guys ever get a chance to take a class in college, this is a class to take. You take logic, because logic is the most amazing class you could possibly take. It'll teach you everything. It's it's the view to life. If you look at life logically, you see things completely differently. You see things in a new light that you never saw them before, and it'll wake you up to so much. Again, to see things logically. I don't think guys or men or women that are 18, 19, dating 16-year-old men or women is okay. I think they should get their ass kicked. I just don't think they should be pedophiles. And I think pedophiles should be exactly cut out to who they are. Prepubescent. Birth to prepubescent. You touch them, you're a pedophile, and you go down hard. You get the scarlet letter. Let's rack them up, baby. Rack them up and put them on the rack. And that's the fact. And so that's what I'm saying. But most people aren't going to see the videos. Most people aren't going to see what I'm talking about. They're not going to hear what I'm talking about. They're not going to know what I'm talking about. They won't know this because this video doesn't get out, because they don't want it out. Ben Shapiro gets out because, he comes from a ton of money. And this is what I was trying to explain to somebody the other day. I like Ben Shapiro a lot. I think he's incredibly intelligent. Where he's wrong is he preaches that your money and where you come from doesn't matter, but it matters 100%. It matters so much. The lie is that any of these people come from nothing. The lie is that there's not a factory deciding everything, that there's not the upper echelon deciding all of it for everybody and who you get to see and what you get to see. And the fact that you think that they don't have people out there putting out little fires, nonstop little fires like me. They have people out there who pretend to be your friends, who pretend to be, they support you, who pretend this and that. And they're truly working for the government, and they're putting out the little fires, and they shut you down. And you don't know they're shutting you down. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know how they're doing it. Hell, they seem like they're great people, and they're fucking you over. And then you realize, oh my God, you know what? Yeah, they have been a part of me and my worst choices. They have been a part of me during the time everything went down. Ever since meeting them, everything went downhill. And you start to realize they're plants. Not the, oh my God, they're reading my mind and I have to wear a tinfoil hat. No, just simple, put out baby fires. Wouldn't it be so much more intelligent for the government to have a whole bunch of people like they do, putting out little fires and making sure they don't ignite into Snowdens, into Trumps, into craziness, where they just start coming out and pointing out the insanity in the world, like all these people being part of the pedophile rings and things like that, the comic ping pong pizza thing, all these different people linked to pedophilia and linked to all these things. And then Ellen, don't even get me started on Ellen. You guys, you're so fooled and you're so asleep, and you think you're speaking to woke people, and you think you're hearing people who are telling you how it is. But no, the people who actually are trying to share and trying to talk about how it is, and I welcome anyone on the show, but the people who are really trying to tell you how it is, we're stifled. We're shut down in every possible way by Zuckerberg, by Twitter, by everything. They shut us down every possible way they can. And then, so if we're not private, if we're kept private, if we're put this, we're put that, and then other people, our friends don't share, people don't share. If you're not getting shared endlessly, you're not moving. And so that's the thing. So keep it in mind, guys. What I'm talking about is the fact that we need to separate what pedophilia is. Prepubescent, birth to prepubescent, that's pedophilia. After that, you have molestation and statutory rape and things like that. Let's completely separate these things. The other things is someone pissing in a bush or pulling their dick out, or their vagina out, or flashing their titties at a show. Stop that. Let's separate that stuff and make it what it is. Let's let pedophilia be what it is, the worst thing, and let's come after it with torches and guns and knives and everything. These people have to stop. The pedophiles are horrible, and they ruin everything. The sex traffickers are horrible, and they ruin the world, and they need to stop. And if women can live and children can live safely, we can all live safer. That's a simple thing. If we're not protecting our mothers and sisters and brothers, we're not. Why are we? And so if you're a part of this stuff, if you're a part of these pedophile rings and you're part of this bullshit, but then you think you're protecting your kids or you're this or they're safe, they're not. Because people like you are out there. And until we stop people like you, you'll continue. And your kids won't be safe. No kids will be safe, and no women will be safe, and no young men will be safe. We need to fix the world, and people need to stand up and start calling everything out. And we need to stop and get a little bipartisan fucking balls going. And just the good people need to start being good. That's all.